Hello, Samurai Jack fans, and welcome to the AfterBuzz TV Samurai Jack After Show. Jack is back, it's crazy, and we are going to cover episodes 1 and 2 after the opening.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Well, I think we're all super stoked to have Samurai Jack back. It's been, what, 10 years?
15!
15!
Yeah.
I did my waiting, 15 years of it, and Azkaban! And we are back. Welcome to the After Show, Samurai Jack fans. We are AfterBuzz TV, even though our screen says popcorn talk, it's a lie.
We still just like popcorn and talking.
We just really like red and white.
This show is going to be about tasting popcorn
And talking.
and watching Samurai Jack.
Popcorn.gif. That is the motif of this show. But yeah, we are looking at the brand new season of Samurai Jack, which, if my numbering is correct, is season 5, episodes 1 and 2, titled 53 and 54. So I guess we're going for a Steven Universe total numbering thing.
Yeah, no, they've always counted via Roman numerals.
Yes.
All right, and with me I have, of course, the wonderful Megan Salinas,
Hey guys, you can tweet at me at the Menguin. That's TheMenguin.
the glorious Andrew Manna.
I'm Andrew Mena. You can check me out at Andrew Mena. Yeah.
Joelle could not be with us tonight. She's a little bit under the weather, so tweet her your well wishes. But we do have Mike Young.
Hey guys, what's up? You can find me online at One Youngster, which is ONEYOUNGSTA.
And I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on the social medias at Kiaxet, that is Kiaxet. We have the hashtag that is ABTVJack, because we're just going for simplicity tonight.
It makes me so happy.
And we're going to pull the live chat up in just a little bit, so if you have something that you want to say, if you have any questions, comments, etc., throw them in the hashtag, throw them in the live chat. You may well get a shout out. We already have Adrian Ruiz in the hashtag making Ruby in jokes, which made me laugh like crazy, so thank you for that, and you will not understand them if you don't watch the Ruby After Show.
Nope.
So yeah, let's talk about this, just the overarching everything for these 2 episodes, because this season is endgame, and therefore instead of being episodic, we are going for a full-on follow-through plot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just glad to see the art style back.
Yes.
It's been a while.
Oh my gosh,
It's been
so
a while.
much.
The ever since Hotel Transylvania came out and actually made money, because Genndy Tartakovsky, directed both of those movies. Ever since the first one came out, I've been going, so when do we get our Samurai Jack movie? When do we get our Samurai Jack movie? This one made money. Please give me my Samurai Jack movie.
6 seasons in a movie. 6 seasons in
Fast
a movie.
forward to now, when we finally get these first few episodes. Oh my gosh, it's more than anything I could have asked for. Honestly, the only thing that would be better is actually getting to see it on a theater screen, and that honestly,
That
I
would
don't
be
know.
crazy.
Yeah, that is the only way to make this better.
Yeah.
I feel like for this, like we have a full season release, and then Fathom Events would go, hey, we're just gonna have an all-day marathon. You can buy a ticket for that. Like, I'm in.
Absolutely.
I'm in.
Fathom,
I'm
do
down.
that
Let's
now.
Shut
do
up
it.
and take my money.
That
Please.
could be real cool.
Just
That'd
gonna
be real
request
cool.
me the ticket's gonna be like $50, $60.
Yeah.
They're gonna take up a
Yeah.
theater for the whole day. But yes, please.
Yeah,
Do want.
the only other thing is that after that first episode, I was like, I have to wait a week for the next one.
And then there wasn't one this week.
Oh gosh.
That kind of hurt.
So all y'all Rick and Morty fans, I hope you are super happy.
Yes.
And it just gives us a chance as an after show to catch up a little bit earlier.
Yeah, let's go. That's
So
cool too.
yeah, Jack is not doing super well on his own.
I mean, yeah, it's so exciting because it's grown up Jack. It's 15 years later Jack.
50 years later.
50.
But 15 years in our timeline or whatever.
that's true.
Yeah.
I just mean it's like the mature version we're all hoping for, and they really delivered on being like, yeah, no, we know you're adults. This is the adult version of this story now. Taking it to really dark places, because I did not expect them to go there.
Oh, no.
And they really went there.
They did.
All of
Well,
the
your dad
ghosts-
is on fire and
All of the
crucified, and that is a
ghosts.
river of zombies, and then just
Yeah.
ooh,
terrible.
hashtag river of zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haunts
Haven't seen
my
that since
dreams.
Z Nation.
Right.
So
What I love about this is that there have actually been studies about the human need for connection. And you see all these zombie apocalypse shows where it's like, well, I'm the lone survivor and I've been surviving alone for 10 years. That is like 2% of the population that can actually handle that.
Yeah.
Most people
Yeah.
need other people.
Yeah.
And Jack is not 2% of the population. He is not doing well, cut off from all other contact.
yeah, he's even having issues just like his dialogue with himself is a problem.
Yeah.
Oh God, that dialogue in episode 2 about I just want it to end.
The
like,
only honorable thing you
oh.
can do, and oh man.
Well, not to mention, kudos again to
We
Phil
call that
Lamar
seppuku.
because,
Right.
Yeah.
because this is a performance where we hear Jack emote in a way that I'm sure Phil Lamar isn't used to acting for Jack.
Yeah.
Just having him yell and scream at himself while still having to do the very understated for the other side of the performance as well.
Well,
So-
we have Jack from 50 years ago and Jack now
Yeah.
having a conversation.
Yeah.
And that is
Angry Jack from 50 years ago.
and that is 2 different voices. And that's just that's Dan Green levels of having a conversation with yourself, and I love it. Yeah, so he's not doing super well.
Nah, not at all. And I think even though he's very good at kind of fighting his way through things.
Oh, yeah.
But he's not good at the quiet moments, and I think that's where this season is really going to shine.
Oh,
is those
yeah.
quiet moments when he has to deal with what his situation is.
Yeah, I was really excited to be taken back. Like the old episodes of Samurai Jack that open with just like the crunching of leaves and footsteps and
so
just
good.
the beauty of nature, and then and that is so majestic and so like old fashioned samurai movie, and I'm
Yeah.
just so excited, that they're taking such care in the cinema. Like again, obviously, like they never didn't do that, but like
Yeah.
the care in the cinematography and the way that everything looks and feels.
Now it's in HD, guys.
Yes.
I know
Because it's been so
pretty.
long since we've seen this.
Yeah.
Because the way he plays with color and shapes is
beautiful.
we haven't seen it in so long, so it's almost like it's new. Because
Yeah.
it's like we've seen it, but it's been so long.
And it's so
saw-
simple, but it says so much.
Yeah.
I saw
that
someone
wolf-
a few weeks ago tweet that the new Samurai Jack is basically a masterclass in color theory. And there
Yeah.
were screenshots of the leaves, of the fire, of the... we don't know if that's the ghost of his ancestors. We don't know if that's death itself.
Yeah.
We don't know what he's hallucinating. But it is very traditional samurai with the armor and the 4 different swords and the
Yeah.
horse and the antlers on the
Yeah.
helmet. Like it's very stylized, but it's still very traditional. And that's also what we have with Jack's armor and with the mask that he was wearing at the beginning. That's all very traditional samurai armor.
I was going to bring that
It's
up.
just not usually 3 feet tall.
Is it too
The
early?
helmet.
Is it too early to talk about that green samurai? Or a lot of people on Reddit
No.
are calling him the Green Knight. Is it too early to speculate as to whether or not the thing that he's seeing in terms of this knight is actually real or a hallucination? Because obviously, seeing all of the zombies and
Yeah.
seeing the forest on fire, those are hallucinations. But is the Green Knight himself real? Like, is that an actual thing that happens to be following Jack?
I think it's a consistent hallucination.
Yeah.
I think it might be him failing to face his duty because we see in a flashback that he's lost the sword. We have no idea
Yes.
when or how that happened, but that
in a
was
hole
evidently
somewhere.
a thing. But we never see him going back for it. We don't know what happened
Yeah.
in that span of
We have
time
no
because
context.
obviously it was a chunk of time ago. And so I wonder if that's not like, no, this is still your duty. No, you still need to do this. Because every time he sees that, he freaks out and runs away.
Good. That's a good point. Now, I will say, I think he's real. I don't know why I'm on the real train because I think
It's more
gonna-
interesting if it's real, right?
Yeah, because I think they're playing that against the hallucination he's having, and for him to, I think it's going to be a situation where he thinks it's fake, and then he's like, "Whoa, it's real," and I think that's going to play out in a whole different way. Maybe something that he has to, another hurdle for him to cross, which a lot of Samurai Jack is, but it's weird because it's so simple, but it's extremely complex at the same time. So it's going to be interesting to see what that night represents to him and what conquest that'll represent.
I'm gonna throw something out there because I love what both of you said. So I think that you're right about it, like representing duty and that idea of like what he has to do. And I love what you said about it totally being a real person. So what if it's him? What if it's another version of him?
Oh my
it could
God.
very well be him from the
Yeah,
future.
because once you start splitting time and stuff, that could be
He's been
another
thrust into
version.
the future. How do you know? Like, what if this is another time traveling
We
Jack?
have some discussions to talk about in terms of whether or not he can even go back, or if that like comes into like a alternate timeline timeline sort of territory.
That is
Multiverse
Harry Potter
theory.
seeing his own Patronus cast at him, time traveling madness. Like that's what we're starting to get into there.
If I could throw a theory out there, I know it's cliche to say at this point, and I'm sure there are tons of people on Reddit who are like, whatever, that's the easy answer. But it's also possible that this could be death. I mean, it could be a Shinigami of some sort. That apparently, according to Reddit, the Grim Reaper wasn't a concept that would have been available to Jack given the time period, but Shinigamis were. That being said, Jack has also been unable to age for 50 years. Even if the Grim Reaper wasn't a concept for him, it's definitely a concept for the audience.
Okay.
It's Kravitz just marking off time and going, well.
I understood that
boy.
reference.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. The other thing we need to talk about, because this looks like it's going to be a running thing, is the Daughters of Aku.
Yes. The 7 daughters.
Yes.
Or at the end of episode 2, the 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 6 at that point.
Presumably.
Oh no, she's
It's-
super
Oh, she's
dead.
dead.
It's the 6.
She's
Yeah.
dead.
Like,
Oh,
that
so-
was a
okay.
throat slit and
All right.
blood spatter. That was,
And
and
then-
even to learn the hard way that they were not
the
robots.
Even if she somehow survived the throat
Yeah.
slitting, he exploded that hallway.
Yeah,
She's
you're right,
dead.
you're right,
She's
you're right.
super
She's
dead.
super dead.
She's
You're
in
right.
pieces.
They are ninjas, but you're right.
But
Yeah.
speaking of them, their training sequence
gosh.
was just
Oh,
once again,
so
it's
good.
simple. It, like you think like, oh, this is easy to do, and then like no one else can do it. It's just the way it was done, the way they were trained was very cool. Even their birth sequence, that scene
Which
was
is
very
different
cool.
than anything else we've seen in this show. Like,
Yeah.
the second that happened, I was like, yep, this is for grown-ups now. Whoa.
Yeah, because we got the opening scene with Jack, and it's always got the motorcycle and the armor and the guns and the whatnot. And we're like, yeah, but this still feels like Samurai Jack. And then we cut to this woman giving birth and screaming at all this imagery, and it's like, ho ho ho, we are
Yeah.
on Adult Swim.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
like this is a little
happening.
different.
Woo!
Yeah,
And we get.
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say we get Ashi, that one, the spiky-haired
Yeah.
girl, who is
The
like our
only one with a name.
the only one so far that we know
yeah.
the name of. Yeah, but like I'm just so excited. She seems so different, and like there are those couple moments we have of like them trying to break her extra, you know.
Yeah.
Which means, you know, she's going to be the one with the personality that may or may not have the redemption arc later on down the line.
And she has
Yeah.
the best hair, so she's already
The
set
best
for the
hair.
She does have
Ooh,
pretty
disagree.
great hair.
There was someone with
Really?
straight up cloud hair that was just like,
I like
Yeah,
her
that
Vegeta
one-
hair. I just like
There's
it.
also the one girl who does have like unfortunate Aku hair that like when the mask went on, it's like that
It was the
like
exact
it was-
same.
It was perfectly fitted too.
Yeah, it was like this is right there, right
Perfect.
there, right there.
I'm pretty sure it's actually her hair keeping the mask in place.
Yeah.
And this is one of those sequences where, okay, what is the passage of time as shown in this series? Because we have these kids from birth to presumably adulthood, or at least the competent teenagerhood.
I would say like 17, 18 youngest.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably right around 20, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be my guess.
I would
But
totally
then we
agree.
have, did all of this happen like at one point, and then we can assume that them running out to go kill a man happens at the same time as Jack's kind of 3-day montage of hallucinating things and saving people. Like, the passage of time in this series, intercut as it is a little weird when
Yeah.
it comes to montages
And
like this.
we don't know, again, these girls, we don't know if they have an actual father or if it's like straight up dark magic pregnancy thing that happened there.
But if Aku hasn't been seen in years, which is what has been said
Yeah.
more than once, like they're worshiping him like they haven't seen this guy
Like
in a
in-
dog's age.
In
Yeah.
probably like decades.
They say
Yeah.
the goal at one point, the Madam, I don't know what to call her, head mother, the
Madam,
mistress?
Yeah, the-
Madam
Aku.
Scary Lady.
The
that
evil
crazy
lady.
woman,
Yeah, crazy
the
woman
cult
basically.
leader.
Yeah,
Mom.
cult leader. She
Yeah,
says,
just mom. Mom
yeah. She says that. Darn it! Now I've completely forgotten because
We
all
will
of these
earn honor
hilarious
in your
names.
eyes, or something
And
like
you
that.
will
Yeah,
honor
you'll-
us with your glory
with
or
your
something
with your
like
visit
that.
with your presence again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says essentially that that he hasn't been here and that they want him to be here. Like.
Well, and Jack also said that
It sounds
Aku
like a
hasn't shown
girl
his
that
face
like he
in
just never
ages.
called
Yeah.
again, right?
Like, and maybe that is the story. And he's like
they-
the deadbeat dad of
they
these
had
7
some
daughters.
Fun.
Wow.
They had some fun, and he just never called her.
I mean, the way that second episode starts, where he's just like, just kind of goofing in his bed in the morning. Like,
Let's talk about that a little bit,
love
because
it.
Aku is not, he's not having a good time either. He thought he'd just be able to wait this out, and nope, Jack's not dying.
oh man, his therapist.
Oh my god.
I loved him just melting into a puddle at the end of it, like, I'm a puddle of anxiety and
It's
sad.
so funny.
you.
It's so funny because Aku can be very scary, and obviously
Yeah.
the devastation that he has wrought upon the world is visible in many different ways in the lives that he's destroyed. But like at the same time, Aku himself was always kind of a goof.
Yeah.
And it, like, hey guys, remember that one time Aku phoned for a henchman like it was a pizza? Hey guys, remember that time Aku cross-dressed like because it was funny? And just lots of things. And it's seeing a scene like this, and along with the robot in the first episode too, Scaramouche, where you remember, oh yeah, this was a really funny cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting to see that juxtaposition with the darker tone. And I love the parallel of both Jack and Aku going crazy. Like, this isn't a good situation for either of them. They're both going insane because of what's happening.
Well, and I feel like Aku, most of the time when we see him be full-on scary, it's the scenes in the past. And then when we see him
When
in
he
the
hasn't
future,
conquered the world
when
yet.
we see him in the future, he's a goober because it's been hundreds and hundreds
He's
and
like,
maybe
it's
thousands
not
of
fun
years.
anymore.
Yeah. And it's like, I've conquered the world, life is good. Oh, now he's showing up. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I threw him in for this year, and that timer's just about due. Gotcha.
And he takes-
Alexa, stop my timer. He just showed up.
And he takes such issue with the like people coming to pay tribute who are just like getting mud on his floor, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're getting yourselves everywhere," or whatever. It's so
But, yeah.
like he's just finding
they were
things to be
trying.
upset about. It's
Yeah,
great.
we saw him as just a total goof when Jack showed up in the future because he'd had all that time to be like, well, I'm in charge of everything, life is good, and gonna kill some people and,
And he
mellow out.
is insanely powerful.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if there's no more challenge, they're both stagnating because
Yeah.
Jack is falling into this pattern of kill, survive, kill, survive, kill, survive. Kill robots, survive, rather. We need to be
Yeah.
very specific about that. And Aku just isn't even looking for him anymore. He hasn't come for me. He hasn't presented anything.
Well,
I thought I'd just be able to hands off and let him die.
the other thing is too is he doesn't know Jack's lost the sword.
Right.
Yeah.
So like
Oh, yeah, you're right.
he's being standoffish because he's like, I don't want to get my hands dirty because there's one thing on this earth that can kill me, and it's that sword.
Yeah.
So I'll just wait the problem out. And the idea that he can't wait the problem out means that he will eventually have to face the one thing that could potentially kill him because he's already sent waves and waves and waves of robot henchmen after
he's-
this guy. And
Jack has beat how many people by now?
Oh, gosh.
Man.
And Aku has tried every now and then, has tried going toe to toe with him himself too. And sometimes he's like, yeah, we'll meet again, samurai, whatever. But other times he straight up got beat. And he's like, what am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah, I love the State of Limbo we're basically in with both Jack and Aku, where you know he's has nothing left to do with his power, and he doesn't have his sword, so now he feels like he's lost his purpose, he's lost his direction. He literally lost his. He's screamed at about his purpose, by his ancestors. Yeah.
And Scaramouche nearly upset that balance because, oh, you don't have a sword. Hey, Aku, guess what? And then,
I am Aku's favorite assassin, babe.
who is this?
Sammy Davis Jr.
We need to talk about
He was
Greg
the
Baldwin,
crooner
though.
of carnage.
Oh, yeah.
We do
good.
have a new voice for Aku, Greg
his
Baldwin.
scatting, though.
Yeah.
When he scat after the flute got cut in half, that was amazing. Like
That is
Oh,
a
man,
verb
that
with
was
too many
funny.
meanings, right?
I was mentioning this earlier, but I really was kind of sad, or hoping halfway through that he would survive this fight, so
Yes!
we'd get more Scaramouche.
I definitely want to talk about Greg Baldwin, but freaking Scaramouche was so cool. Everything from his hat to his coat to his high-heeled boots to his
reveal.
flute
Oh, yeah.
to his spinning swords and his
Yeah.
tuning fork sword.
Oh,
it
I
was
love the
so
singing
great.
sword.
Giant rock golem thing.
Yeah.
Watching it, I was like, I love this guy. I'm gonna be real sad when he's dead. And sure enough, I'm real
This is
sad.
a chaotic evil bard.
Yes.
Like
Wow.
that is
There
a
it
chaotic
is.
evil bard.
That'll do it.
Bringing it back to D&D.
Everything lives in D&D.
Yeah, it all can. It should. And
This is the campaign where, everyone went off to college and then had kids and they came back and went, you know what, we're having a nice little 10-year reunion. Do you want to just do a session for one night and just finish it out? Sure. That's what
they
this
just
is.
do. Yeah.
Speaking of, I think Wikipedia had 8 episodes listed, but I have no idea how long this limited series actually is.
Yeah, because they've been very tight-lipped on how long it's going to be.
Yeah, we
Because
know
I'm
that
still
this is
wondering.
it, but
Yeah, we know this is it, but I'm like, since this is it, can we get like 22 episodes?
Yeah,
I know that's crazy to ask.
continuous episode, like a continuous story for 22 episodes would be so cool.
It would be.
It's almost like a lot of other animated series do that.
Well,
Yeah.
and it is cool seeing Jack do a continuous story because, with the exception of the pilot, for the most part, there were some exceptions here and there, but for the most part, every episode of Samurai Jack was just very episodic. It was Jack comes to a new place, saves the day, wanders off into the sunset.
Very
Occasionally
evergreen.
scares
Yeah.
the hell out of the viewers. Chad is saying 10 episodes?
Keeping my
Okay.
fingers crossed.
10
That would be
episodes.
great.
Question mark?
I'm down with that.
I'm cool with that. I'm
Even
excited.
though it's kind of sad,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's like, you know what?
Again-
If you end on a high note, I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with better than nothing.
exactly.
Yes,
That's totally
Which
fair.
is what we would have gotten otherwise.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Greg Baldwin.
Ugh.
He's doing a really good job.
He does.
Yes, they got him to replace poor Mako. Rest in peace. That there. And here's the thing: is that everybody knows there's no replacing Mako, but as far as impressions go, Greg Baldwin does a really good job, and he did some voice work for Iroh.
Oh,
yeah,
I
he
was gonna
did.
say. I was wondering
Yeah.
if that was him. Yeah, he
Yeah,
does a really
same
solid
guy.
job.
So great casting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that was really well done. And you can tell it's not the same person, but it's not jarring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
He
it's
also
not
literally-
egregious.
He also literally says at some point, "I'm not the same Aku as before." It's like a nod to
Yeah,
the
he kind of
audience.
lets
It's
him,
like,
it's kind of like a shout out to like,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, respect to that. And it's like, just letting people know.
yeah, exactly. Like, hey guys,
Who cares
we're doing something
anymore?
new. Okay.
I don't
Go with
care.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
And
he
it's
is,
just saying,
he
I
is
don't
crazy.
care, and slowly lowering out
Yeah.
of frame.
I-
I'm sure someone has gifted that at this point, and I sincerely need that gift. Please put it in the hashtag. I need this in my life. I think we need to. We're running really short on time because we have half an hour and 45 minutes of content to talk about. I love the parallels with the wolf in the
Oh my
second
yes.
episode.
The lone
Amazing.
wolf and those
Yes.
giant mouth tigers.
I
Yeah,
get
those-
that.
those are
The
huge.
jaw hinge on those
Right.
things. Dear
They
God.
are.
It was like
they
by their
are
shoulders.
half mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
And
the
I
whole
love that
body.
we have these mutated production. The mutated productions. Boy, I cannot think of the word. But the future has produced these crazy mutated tigers and a wolf that seems like it's come from straight out of 500 years ago.
Yeah.
Still just
Yeah.
seems to be a straight up wolf.
A weird little parallel we've got.
Yeah,
Ah.
very, a very.
They both come.
Parallelism.
They both come to a fork in the
Parallelism.
road. They both go the same way, and they both get attacked by weird, crazy, strong assailants. Can we talk about that freaking the fight scene at both in the rain and in the temple were amazing.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And I feel like
Always.
it's safe to say that with these first couple of episodes, this final season of Samurai Jack is shaping up to be literally the best thing that Gendy Tartakovsky has ever done.
Yeah.
I'll-
Magnum opus
The
sort of stuff.
choreography, the sound design, the set design.
Now, I will, being a Star Wars guy, some of the stuff he did with lighting with Anakin in that fight in the rain,
Yes.
that was extremely, that was on,
I
that
loved
was
his
hot.
Clone Wars so much. It
Yeah.
was so good.
It was hot. Same, it's not canon, but it's hot. But this season has been just with the training sequence, the fights, just because it makes it
Firefly
look
lighting in the hallway,
God.
off and
Man.
on.
Yeah.
just so, like I said, so simple. Like you look at it and you're like, oh, this is simple. This is this is
Even
easy.
just
And
them
it's
disappearing
very
into
complex.
the shadows. It's so
Yeah.
The
good.
use of black and shadow in this show, and there's so many frames that are just almost all black, and then a small window of something happening, and
Yes.
Jack running through it, and multiple things. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's incredible.
Or
And
when
you
metal
said-
clashes in the dark and you just see
the sparks.
Yeah. And you said something about the settings that they have in the show, and that really rang true for the temple.
Oh yeah, when we were watching it again just a little bit ago, I was like, something Samurai Jack has always done really well is giving you these set pieces that you feel have these elaborate, lavish backstories to
Yeah.
them, because Jack is just wandering through this unknown future, and so when he sees a place and goes, yeah, this is a thing where something big clearly happened here. That's what we feel. And when we see this temple, underground, lit by firefly light, at the base of what we assume is probably a giant tree, with a dead king surrounded by lots and lots
That
of
was
tombs.
cool.
Presumably
That
cool.
was cool.
Yeah. And the music for that scene, I need that in my life. I really do.
It was
Yeah.
impressive.
And they could have done that entire scene silently with just a little bit of sound effects to add a lot of tension. But I love that they got rid of most of the sound effects in lieu of the music, because like when we see one of them turn their head, we don't know whether or not she heard Jack like breathing or gripping onto that onto his weapon.
Or a firefly just being where it wasn't supposed to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so like because we can't hear what they're hearing, it's like do they know where he is? And when they start converging on a single spot, we're like do they have the right spot? And it's so good.
It's
And we
and
have
just the
this-
moment when he jumps out is
It was amazing.
It's top quality. It's hard to
I think this is Gendy Tartakovsky's magnum opus. I
Yeah.
think it's going to be.
All right, we're running really short on time, and we do have a thing that we want to address in predictions. So we have Jack killing a person, which is something he's going to have to come to terms
Oh my
with. 'cause
God.
provided he survives, because he
Yeah,
has
he
an
got
abdominal
wounded.
wound and
Just
threw
nuts and
himself in the
bolts,
river.
just nuts and bolts. Holy cow!
Not nuts and bolts.
Not nuts and
Oh
bolts.
dear God! All
Flesh
right,
and
that
blood.
was a thing. Okay, so are we?
Your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
I was
Thank
just
you.
about to ask. We are good. Megan, do you want to introduce these?
Okay, so when we see Jack, and at some point Aku mentions that he eradicated all the time portals, I go, maybe not all of them, because there was an episode called Jack and I want to say, it was just numbered, but basically there was a guardian who was protecting one of said time portals, and he kicked the crap out of Jack in that particular episode. And towards the end of the episode, Jack gets sent away, and the guardian turns around to look into the time portal, and the thing is that he was like, you can't enter it just yet. There's only one person that's meant to go through, and it's not you in the here and now, it's you in the future, basically. And we have this picture of Jack in the future looking very old with long hair and a beard, and that's where the episode ends. And I was never sure if that was where the series was planning on going, if that was like the planned endgame, or if that was just one of a potential future that could happen, because again, we don't quite know how time travel works in a series where we only got to see one-way trip. So it's hard to tell.
So yeah, I thought that was really interesting. And in those screenshots, he does look like he has aged, and that's obviously not the case here.
Yeah.
Well, again, he could go back to that portal, and then when he goes back in time, he might age rapidly. We don't know. We don't know.
These are the questions.
We don't
I
know
have so many
anything.
questions.
But the answers are going to have to wait until next week, because we are out of time. We are on iTunes. Please rate, comment, subscribe, leave us 5 stars, leave us reviews. When you leave a review, you do get a shout out, and it helps us stay on the air as an after show.
yeah.
Obviously, we don't have any yet because first episode. But please do the thing, win the stuff. It'll be great. In the meantime, Megan, where can the people find you?
Hey guys, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TheMenguin. That's TheMenguin. I am also on a bunch of shows here at AfterBuzz, and I write articles for the Movie Chick. That's Chick with 2 Ks. Be sure to check those out.
Oh, I'm Andrew Mena. It's my turn
you?
now. I'm Andrew Mena. You can find me on Twitter at Andrew Mena, to Instagram at the Andrew Mena, and then to find me elsewhere, just Google me. It'll be great.
And you can find me online at Oneyongsta, which is ONEYOUNGSTA. Do shows here, Jedi Alliance and Blind Spot. You can also find me on Black Hollywood Live at Nerd Soul. Just search it, one word, NERDSOUL.
And I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me all over the social medias at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. I also have a YouTube channel of the same name. We're going to be talking about Red vs. Blue on that channel real quick because season premiered. Arrow's on hiatus. Samurai Jack is heating up. And Iron Fist. That's what it is. Tuesdays at 6. Super fun. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this first episode. Be sure to join us next week. We're going to talk about 3 and 4, and we will see you then.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.